Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Lost Mine Pokemon Trading Card Game Podcast. I'm Lucas, here with my amazing co-host, Landon. How you been?
Good, bro. I've been very good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. We went to a few pre-releases last weekend, eh? You went 9-0, I went
Sure did.
7-2, right?
I was kind of the go-to pre-release, not gonna lie. It's pretty sick. Played a bunch of copies of Maridon in my deck. Took 4 prize cards a game. It was pretty lit, man. Won over a booster box worth of packs, but only spent a booster box worth of money. So,
Let's go. We don't have to talk about that. That's irrelevant. It's like fine.
true, bro.
So,
Yeah. I guess the only Pokemon we've done is that pre-release since last episode, eh?
yeah, we haven't really done too much else. Did we ever talk about... Yo! Rubber dog. Let's go. What even is that? What?
Stretchy Korg.
Oh my
It's
god.
like a stress ball, but it's like a corgi that I can stretch and smush into multiple different shapes and variations. It's pretty sick.
That's funny. I like that a lot. That's pretty funny. So, what else do we have to talk about in the intro? I mean, I guess we are going to Cups this Saturday. We're going to a Cup this Saturday.
Lit? Yeah, I'll be there.
W. My goat, gonna come down to the average.
First League Cup in like probably I don't even know, almost 2 months.
Damn. But Landon is not a cup grinder or a challenge grinder. He just like...
I hate cups and challenges. I hate them so
They're
much.
so annoying. Like, you lose one game at a
Best of
challenge
one
and
makes
like,
me
damn.
mauled.
Me too, bro. It's so
I don't know.
annoying.
I can't stand best of one. I find it to be a chore to go to cups and challenges. I don't have fun at them. And I'd rather just play at regionals instead because those are fun.
True. Regionals are really fun. It's kind of just the atmosphere. I'm like...
I think I'll probably be able to hit invite without winning a cup. So
That's crazy. I mean, you are just going to so many events. Like, bound to happen, right?
yeah, I mean, I guess I'm going to like all of them except for like 2 regional. I guess
Yeah.
like I'll miss like 3 regionals in North America. So
Peoria, Orlando,
one I see.
Sacramento.
yeah, no Florida for this guy.
No Florida for this guy either, sadly. Couldn't make it work.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, today we are going to be looking over a lot of the City League stats. Landon has compiled the stats of all of the City Leagues within the past week. And we're going to talk about the decks, the variations of the decks, how many tournaments they've won, and we're going to look at a preview list. Just to note, Landon did put a bunch of funny lists in there, because why not? But, you know.
So what I did is I either was looking for the most interesting or like the closest to optimal I think I could find. Probably the biggest reference is Lucas talking about the Charkiest list I've placed in this, but everyone's seen the 58 of 60 Arctina list, so I don't think we really need that again.
So we're just going to have a
for the
Charcadet.
for the sample deck list, yeah, I either picked like what I thought to be the best deck list I saw, or like the most thought-provoking or interesting. So what I did, as Lucas said, I've compiled all of the City Leagues since last week's episode and documented how many times each deck won, and they are in descending order. So obviously we're going to be starting off with Charizard variants, and then I did for Charizard and Arceus, since there's so many different ways to play them, list the like partner of the deck that won and the amount of times that partner won. And it's been kind enough to include some memes in our little slideshow, so hopefully the viewers of the YouTube version will enjoy that. I guess you can watch the video on Spotify as well, but
I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I didn't put too much effort into this. Whatever first came into mind, I just put down because I thought it was funny. But
Lucas was just making memes while I was making the stats, so we both had an important role to play today.
Yeah. I was way more important, by the way. Like, the memes make up way more than the lists.
Yes, but shall we jump in to the Charizard EX statistics?
Yes.
Sir
By the way,
Odin.
I'm joking. I do not think that memes are more important than lists. Charizard. So this is a Charizard Pidgeot list with.
So
couple
here,
tags.
can we skip to the next slide and come back to this?
Yes.
Okay, so very epic graphics here. So Pidgeot, notably, is by far the most played this week, as opposed to Bibarel, which we saw before. I think this makes more sense than Bibarel being more popular, personally, just because the big drawing point of Bibarel was that it wasn't weak to Path, but Path doesn't exist anymore.
I don't know.
So Pidgeot should just be better, I think. But
No, I like Bib. It's like more consistent. It doesn't just get easily
I
touched for
argue it
Evo.
is super way less consistent than Pidgeot.
What?
Pidgeot has a guaranteed effect every turn. Bibarel, you're setting up your stage 1 line in your stage 2 deck, and it's like a lot of the time. I mean, I guess you could have Scope and play at the same time, but like
I was about to say,
the
bro, you're
synergy.
drawing like 10 cards.
Yeah, if you set up 2 Bibarels in your stage 2 deck,
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
know. I personally have found a lot more success with the Pidgeot version, just in the like timeline of me playing Zard in total, because like you set up the Pidgeot and it finds you the exact card you need every time, which usually is all you really need to function in a turn is Zard.
I know that's kind of the
more I
big
play
reason.
the Bibarel version, the more it's like less consistent than Pidgeot by a lot for me, at least.
I know that was the big reason why Pidge was good. Is you would just, sorry, there's like something in my throat. I swallowed gum before this, and I think it's haunting me. So yeah,
You just swallow gum, French.
I know that was like the big selling point for Pidge in Zard. I know that was the big selling point because Zard is such like once you set up, you don't really need too much to keep going.
Yeah.
So Pidgeot finding the one card that you're trying to hit off of Bib Squovit might just be better than Bib Squovit, even though it's drawing you a sheer amount of more cards, because you only really need 1 or 2 specific cards in a turn. Oh, man is lagging. Shout out to the Litten Wi-Fi. But yeah, I don't know. I think that was the main reason for Pidge. Zard is just like, once you set up, the rest kind of just goes from there. I do like Bib, though. I will say, I think one of the reasons why I like Bib is I like its efficiency. Like, I like its potential going second to have a turn 1 complete setup, pretty much, with the Arven for Candy, Evo, attach, double Evo to the Bibs. But I also kind of do understand the Pidge line. I know that Bib is... Another reason why I like Bib is I know that with Prime Catcher and with like Arctina that plays 4 bosses or whatever, your Pidgeot's going to be easily able to be targeted. And Bibarel has a lot less reason to be targeted. So a lot of decks would just go like Boss Pidgeot and then Iono. But they have a hard time justifying it unless they're Lost Box to go like Can I Catch a Roxanne Sableye. But I don't know. I think Pidge is still good.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I cut out. I switched to my phone hotspot because the government Wi-Fi was sucking.
You're fine.
So I missed quite a bit what you said. But if you think about the average Charizard turn, even after like after you have your stage 2s in play, you really are just like searching for usually boss or gust card.
Yeah.
Every turn, which Pidgeot finds every turn guaranteed. And I understand your point of like Pidgeot can get boss KO'd and die. If you're worried about Tina, I have seen an amount of Arc Pidgeless play a V-Guard energy, so that could be a potential option there.
It's kind of sick,
like,
low-key.
Yeah, the Pidgeot against like literally anything except Giratina V-Star is going to live for the most part, or Mirror.
It's also really bad into
is a
Turbo
lot.
Hands. Like, it's really bad into Turbo Hands. But so is Bib, kind of.
Yeah, like Bib does too.
I'm just trying to play devil's
Pidgeot
advocate
is
here.
just overall the more powerful like thing, because you're gonna hit what you want every time because it just searches your deck for whatever card you want. I find when I'm playing the Bibarel version, I'm just digging for a card that I could have found automatically off Pidgeot anyways. The one huge upside to Bibarel over Pidgeot is you're able to present 1 prize board states with Radzard late game.
That's one of the other reasons,
which is like huge, but you can kind of mimic that with just Radzard plus Iono to 2, which kind of is like putting a 1 prize board state because they have to hit so much under the Iono, which it's possible to do, but like in practice, the amount of times they're drawing out of the Iono and gusting in the same turn are pretty low, unless they're playing like a Bibarel deck or something. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Pidgeot is just more powerful because it's able to find what you want every time. Like you're never gonna whiff
Bib
mid-game.
is probably better in a mirror then, if we're talking about like Iona to low late game. Because Zard in the mirror can just go like KO Pidgeot and Iono. especially with the maximum belt. So if you're worried about the Pidge Zards, you could just play a maximum belt, barrel, counter catcher, whatever, and just be super annoying that way. But I think there's
Yeah,
better
you could.
ways.
I think yeah, like I'm pretty sure the Pidgeot will continue to be the more popular variant. I think Bibarel might have just been like new toy syndrome or something.
Bro, what?
Because
Barrel is literally older than Pidgeot.
I know, but like no one was playing it pre-rotation, and they found the opportunity to play it post-rotation. I'm not saying Bibarel is like bad, and I wouldn't fault you or be surprised if it did well in EUIC. But Pidgeot has been the more powerful variant for a long time in a format with Path to the Peak, which was one of the biggest reasons to play the Bibarel version.
And the Barrel
I don't think there's any
no
reason.
play.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason for Bibarel to be better now than it was pre-rotation. Other than like, yeah, you're saying the Turbo Hands list might be troublesome, but like
That's it.
that's not gonna be that popular of a deck. Like, yeah, I don't know.
And
I think
the
they're
thing is,
both
Zard
very
can still
powerful.
just beat it by putting out a singular Zard.
Yeah, like Zard is just hugely statted, and you're just gonna find the best partner for it, and it's gonna do really well. Both of these decks are great decks. Like, don't get me wrong, but I think the Pidgeot, for me personally, and by results updated, just feels like the more powerful version because you just don't whiff what you need mid game. And I think the opening turns for Zard Pidgeot are stronger because you have less like
Stuff to do.
physical. You have less cards in your deck. You don't have to play like cards to synergize with Bibarel cycling. Like you don't have to play Skullbit and then like more ways to thin your hand down. You're just kind of like setting up Zard Pidgeot turn 2, and then Pidgeot sets up your future Zards and also gets you Gust. But I will admit the Arven late game hands where you're like sitting on 4 cards in hand with only quick search do suck. I do hate that. But I think that is kind of outweighed by just hitting what you need every time.
True. Shout out to the one Lost Pocket Zard.
And the 2 Arcs, by the way. Arc is definitely not good with Charizard, but shout out to the 2 dudes that did well with it.
Nah, bro's
don't play Arc in this
disrespecting.
list, though.
Bro's disrespecting Pokestop Zard.
Real. That deck was sick, but there is absolutely no reason to play that now that Maximum Belt exists. The whole point I liked about Pokestop Zard is you could go cross-switch your belt, KO a V Pokemon on turn 2. But you just do that with Maximum Belt now. But I think we can go back to that list that we had. I think I've said all I want about the difference between Pidgeot and Bibarel at this point.
So if you're scared about Tina, you could just go this list route of literally playing a Flutter Mane, which is really funny.
I don't think the Flutter Mane's great. The biggest thing I saw on this list was the Gouging Fire. Gouging Fire is freaking sick, dude. I did not say the F word because this is family-friendly Lost Mine podcast, but I wanted to because it's sick. Belt Gouging Fire is so cracked into V-Stars, obviously.
Yeah.
You just go turn 290 into Arc, Tina, and Lugia. And also kills Vulpix. Huge upside.
Sure, does kill Vulpix. Also, if they take a knockout before you, you can literally go counter catch with the Tina, choice belt attack, and then they cannot one-shot you unless they maximum belt. And then if they maximum belt, you... Oh, never mind. Okay, I was going to say you could go like choice belt and then Vit Band, but you don't play Vit Band in this list. You play maximum belt. So...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a funny list. I like the 2 Rotom is kind of like...
Yeah, the 2 Rotom's whack. I wouldn't play 2 Rotom, but I just won't like the Gouging Fire.
Yeah, Gouging Fire is sick. Shout out to the Mist Energy. This list is like Omega Tech for Tina.
Yeah.
All
the
it
Gouging
needs
Fire,
now
I
is
think, is just
V-Guard.
inherently powerful as well. I don't know. I think the Gouging Fire is super lit. Obviously, it's going to be difficult to move once you attack with it. It only has 2 retreat costs. Quite a bit of a combo to hit. You have to hit like Attach Retreat plus Inferno Rain, so it's not a huge combo, I guess. But
no, but swing for 60. Swinging for 60
sure.
might not even be that bad, low key. Because then they go 260.
No, it's not like Horribles.
It's not that bad, yeah.
Still sucks, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, having immediate pressure with the Gouging Fire is sweet, as well as being an auto win into Vulpix. Maybe not auto win, but just nuking a Vulpix pretty easily is sweet, and they probably won't expect it.
This is definitely an auto win into full picks. Because you go nuke, rod, nuke, and then just KO an arc.
Yeah. The Gouging Fire, I think this card is criminally underrated, even as its own card. Same as Crowdon EX. 2 insanely statted basic Pokemon EX.
They will see play.
This looks like a really good home. This looks like a really good home for Gouging Fire, and I would not be surprised to see it in successful UIC Charizard lists.
Gouging Fire is able to fully develop in Zard. Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah,
makes
it is
sense.
just 260.
Yeah.
Guarantee you.
It
Or
combats
290.
a lot
Or
of
310 on the X, I guess.
it combats Zard's like early game awkward two shot things. So you go into two shot wars. It's just like immediate one shot and then you one shot it and then Zard's just able to one shot back. So it skips
Yeah,
that awkward
it's it.
phase. Only thing I really don't like about it is that you have to set up two Zards to attack with two Pokemon now, but it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, but like when you evolve the second Zard, it powers up both the Zards in play, so it kind of doesn't matter that much.
True. And you can also just go Infernal Rain attached to Charizard EX and then be fine.
Yeah, I mean you have to hit the switch or start the gouging fire in that scenario, but like, um, yeah, I don't think it's that big of an issue to like. Sure, it kind of sucks that you have to devote all three energy from the rain to it, but like I said, the second Charizard will set up both the Charizards because you just have to attach to one of them.
Now, the line here is to play Hero's Cape, Mist Energy, and then play Leon that rotated so that you can tank a Tina hit and then go Leon KO. It's broken, dude.
No, I will say though, on your comment on Hero's Cape, I do think Hero's Cape is underrated in Zard. 430 HP is actually correct.
We were talking about this a couple days ago.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see Zard with Hero's Cape be played and successful because that is an unreal amount of hit points.
Yeah, 430 is like Iron Leaves is not even one shot you.
It lives Iron Leaves attack. That's crazy.
That isn't just
but
insane.
Yeah, we're gonna spend all the episode talking about Charizard, which kind of sucks. But I think I've put my thoughts.
Yeah.
This summarizes my thoughts upon Zard for this week's episode, I think.
Me too. Okay. What am I doing? Arc variants. So they've seen a lot of success. Arctina was one of the most popular decks over in Japan, as you have like pretty straightforward line in the Zard. You have Maximum Bell 330 with the Lost Impact, you have an Iron Leaves, and then you have like Disruption or KO Pidgeot. So the deck's been seeing a lot of success. You have early aggression with the 180 boss. You play 4 boss. The deck is super consistent. It's just inherently powerful, simple to play. A lot of the reason why we keep playing Arceus decks is because it's just like you're able to play at your best for longer.
Yeah, I mean, I do appreciate the fact of it just making my tournament more enjoyable. Also, I wouldn't play Arc if it was bad. Like, every time I've played Arc to a tournament, I've been like, this feels very well positioned. And I think it continues to be the same way post-rotation. 3 biggest archetypes we're seeing of Arc, the Arc Vulpix that got second place in Champions League. Obviously, Arctina. And then we've seen some Shark, which is our feature list here. But yeah, Arceus has been the second best performing archetype. We kind of saw that at Champions League as well, where there was 3 in top 8, the Fukuoka Champions League. And Arc is just continuing to do well and perform strong, as it always kind of has. Arc has just been a mainstay since it was released. Just a very well-statted card that searches for 2 things and charges up your other stuff. So kind of hard for it to be bad.
Yeah, true. They kind of designed the card knowing it was going to be good for a long time. But yeah.
Yeah, it's just a vanilla splashable thing that has hit points and does damage. So
indeed. I don't know. I like Arc Pix just feels not that strong right now.
Yeah, I think of the 3, the Arctina, I mean, marginally only had one more win, but it's been the more consistent performer. It's the most powerful. Like, you're not really like, I think there's 2 paths to take with Arceus. You either play like the counter deck and try to dodge and weave, or you just play Arctina, which has kind of always been like the most inherently powerful because it has one-shot options, but has less like tricky things. You're literally just using 2 attacks the whole game. Now that you have Iron Leaves, I guess 3. Yeah, I mean, Gigas was kind of linear, but it was more like of a targeted V-Star, as opposed to Tina's just kind of been there as a beat stick the whole time. But I think the Tina with the Maxim Belt is kind of too strong not to play at this point. Yeah. I don't think I would ever really consider playing either of the 2 other Arc variants. Arc Vulpix, like, sure, in theory is great, but it's a commonly known deck, and Vulpix has only ever really been good when it's a surprise, and it is definitely not a surprise with the amount of success we've seen in Japan at this point.
Yeah, no. Vulpix is common right now, and the whole reason why Vulpix is ever good for any tournament is no one's expecting it, so they cut the cards that don't have abilities in their deck, and then you roll in with the Vulpix. It's like EUIC last year. Alex Szymanski, no one was expecting Vulpix V-Star. He ran in with
Yeah.
Vulpix V-Star, absolutely destroyed everything. And yeah, still would like to shout out the time when Vulpix was coming out, and I called the card was going to be very good, and everyone was not believing me.
Yeah. I still think it's funny that the text of going through shard effects has been more of a nerf than it has been strong.
Why?
It allowed any deck that played Mew EX to kill your Vulpix because the Mew EX has an ability, but it hits through the effect of the attack because of Vulpix's text.
True. That is kind of
So
funny.
Vulpix's card text actually countered itself before doing anything relevant. I suppose it is your shredding to Mimikyu now, but I do remember testing that at some point and then realizing Vulpix was unplayable because of Mew EX.
And then, yeah, Mew. That's really funny, actually. I never really thought about that. Yeah, no, Mew EX. I knew there was it was a thing, but I never really fully thought about it. That's really funny. Okay, do you want to look at the featured list?
I would love to look at the Chark list.
W Chark list. Woohoo! This list is so.
For the listeners only, this list not only contains Arceus V-Star and Armarouge, it also contains Alolan Vulpix V-Star, Iron Hands EX, and Gouging Fire EX, and Delphox V, Radiant Heatran, and Mew EX.
And they somehow fit in a 4-4 Arceus V-Star line.
And a 1-1 Bibarel. So obviously this is not an optimal list, but I more so wanted to display this as just like a testament to how versatile Arceus decks can be. You can just play whatever the hell you want with this. I think this Charkeus like archetype has more room to exist post-rotation because you don't have Path anymore. I saw some people playing this and doing well enough with it pre-rotation, but like playing a not Path Arceus deck seemed like a punt. But now you don't have the choice, so
True.
Magma Basin away in your Arceus V-Star list.
Radiant Heatran, I kind of like the idea because you just go Basin and then move it, Basin, move it, and then you go.
Oh, Heatran is crazy. Like it does a lot of damage. I do kind of dislike the fact that it's so like transparent that it's there. You can never do it in one turn because you need at least one turn of proactive Magma Basin damage.
Yeah, that's like the biggest nerf to the card for sure. It's not being a surprise.
Yeah, but it's definitely your Magma Basin target because like it does 280 into one shot everything. Actually, no. If it had 6 damage counters on it, that still wouldn't KO a caped Zardex.
6 times 7 is like the 40. 7 damage counters on a Radiant Heatran. 6 damage counters on a Radiant Heatran not KOing is funny. That's so insane.
Hero's Cape Zard.
Hero's Cape Zard is broken. Doesn't lose to Radiant Heatran.
It's really good, man. I'm not even joking when I say that. Like you're never dying. That thing is never getting one shot ever. Not even by the card they just printed to counter it. It's like if Drapion V didn't kill me with Meebax. It's the same deal.
No, it would still be broken,
anyways.
dude. The only reason I played that card was just so I could attack into Rapid Strike Urshifu for less damage.
True, and then damage your own board.
Yeah.
But anyways, this obviously is not the optimal Arceus list. I more so just knew nobody needed to see yet another Arctina list that looks basically the exact same. But this is yet another Arceus list taking advantage of the power of Maximum Belt and trying something new and fun. I know shout out to Shin, played something like this to Portland Regionals this year. So Shin's the GOAT.
Portland Region.
He's playing the Armarouge EX though. That card's cool. That thing has a lot of hit points too.
That thing does have a lot of hit points. I kind of like this.
Armarouge EX lives max damage Charizard.
Armarouge EX.
Yeah.
W. It's not afraid of Zard.
It is not.
I like the Iron Hands Maximum Belt in this deck. You just kind of one-shot Pidgeots. I don't know. I like it when your decks are able to do that. Okay. Lost Box. 8 dubs.
Yeah. I didn't take the liberty of putting each individual different Roaring Moon, Iron Hands, Lost Box list on the list, but there was a mixture of Radiant Charizard and Radiant Greninja, and basically all of these lists were playing Iron Hands and Roaring Moon EXs, kind of similar to what we see now, a lot of which were taking more aggressive approaches, and the list I have put up as a sampler is
playing
definitely
Hoopa
reflective
EX?
of that. It is playing Hoopa EX. I thought I'd put something a little spicy in here just so we didn't have a normie list. But one other thing I really noticed that was pretty much in every list I saw was they're playing Iron Bundle, which I do like because you lose escape ropes. You don't have that push option. And they can kind of get like a false sense of safety especially with things like Flutter Mane,
Yeah,
it's going to be a pretty good Flutter Mane counter.
that's what I was
I
gonna
think
say.
people are kind of going to assume that you're only like they have no way of moving the bundle aside from Prime Catcher or the Flutter Mane, sorry. And then you just drop the Hyper Blower on them, and they're like
Oh no.
surprise Pikachu face.
Yeah.
So, and then yeah, the only other like card that's kind of spicy here, obviously, is the Hoopa EX, which honestly does not seem that bad right now.
Because of Turbo Hands.
It's really good. Yeah, like saying, really good counter to the Turbo Hands deck, which otherwise is going to be an absolute
Horrendous
atrocious matchup for this deck.
I still think it
because you could
is.
just go. Well, not really. Like if you go first, they are going to choose second. You just go first, Nest Ball for Hoopa, attach, and they can't really attack you.
But what if they just like when you attack them with Hoopa, they go 4 crown, future booster, 220?
I mean, sure, they can always hit the nuts and beat you, but that's every matchup.
That's true. That's true. And then you kind of can go like Super Odd, Roxanne KO. I don't know. That's bad.
Yeah, like it gives you obviously playing a fighting Pokemon that one shots their attacker is going to be good in a matchup.
I feel like Temple
also
of
it's gonna
Sinnoh
have-
is just like a counter that's not been. I don't understand why people are not playing Temple of Sinnoh. Seems way better.
I mean, yeah, I like Tempo Sinnoh in Tina a lot because you're like super soft to mist energy if you don't play it. And then obviously they can turn off gifts and or like V guards and stuff like that.
Yeah, in the Turbo Hands matchup. That's really what I'm thinking. Like a deck could just play this deck. If you're really worried about it, you could probably play Sinnoh in this deck, but that just seems
Yeah,
over
you
the
can play one
top.
of some. I don't know. I think the Hoopa. I mean, I haven't tested this like specific
Wait,
matchup
maybe
for the
this is
Hoopa EX
fine.
yet.
Because you can go Hoopa, and then, so the line is, they take 2. Hoopa, they either Gust take 2, or they take 3 on the active, and then you go Roxanne to 2, Frenzied Gouging. So then Frenzied just makes it so Gift doesn't proc, and then you're fine. And then you just see.
Yeah. I did that against you. We were testing with the. I remember playing the Ancient Moon versus the Turbo Hands, and you were shook when I didn't let you activate Gift Energy, and you had like 2 cards in hand, and you were
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
Oh, no.
Pence."
Yeah.
So it also doesn't proc the baton. So if they have like a baton gift in the active, and you just go gouging, they're like,
Why do I play these cards?
yeah. And then like playing Raikou V for Seal Stone. Raikou V is a horrible card. Don't play it. But having a Seal Stone
Whoa.
target is cool.
Whoa.
Yeah, Raikou V has never been good in decks that aren't Miraidon, by the way.
Raikou V
has
just feels like
always been
such a
bad.
mid card. Whenever I played it in Lost Box, it was like, ugh, I don't want to play this.
Literally so horrible. I have never felt good about playing Raikou V in my list unless it's Miraidon.
But I've never like heavily tested Raikou without Raikou, so I just believed that the masses were correct and played Raikou in literally all of my 60s, except for the one that was into San Diego and with Lost Box when I played Zero Aura instead. Zero Aura is so bad. Oh my god. I actually have no idea how TPCI printed Lugia V-Star and the best counter was Zero Aura Vivid Voltage.
Yeah, dude, choice spell, it does 280 broken.
It was so bad. Oh my god, that matchup was.
Isn't that free retreat though?
It has free retreat, but like.
Okay, you gotta give it some credit. Free retreat's broken. Come on now.
That's it, bro. The matchup was so whack, dude. They would like Marnie you, and then you had to hit like Snorlax Choice Belt into their Stoutland, and then you had to hit like Choice Belt Zero Aura, or else you actually just lost on the spot.
Remember when we were testing, I went to that tournament, I top 16'd with the double Tool Jammer Lugia, and no one ever thought about it again, even though it was the best Lugia list in that entire room. I went 9-1 in Mirror that weekend, I think. It was broken. That was just so cracked.
Was there a tool was there like a tool that Lugia used in Mirror? I forget.
Yeah, you went V-Guard, Jammer your active Lugia with the because that was like that tournament. I think only like 2 of my Lugia opponents were playing V-Guard because that was like early in that format. So I would just in Mirror go triple Powerful Colorless, V-Guard, Tool Jammer, Oko your Lugia, and I was just winning every time going second in the Mirror, even if they had turn to attack, because I would just do that and they would instantly lose.
But what about a
It was
Veltal?
sick.
What about your Veltal?
I mean, yeah, if they're setting up a Veltal turn 3 and burning 5 energies, I just killed it with the Snorlax that I also played because that list was so crazy.
Bro.
And then also into Lost Box, I auto beat Lost Box like every time because I would just went jammer my Stoutland and they could not Snorlax it, and it always took 4 prize cards.
Bro, what? Jamming your style?
That list was
Oh!
absolutely crazy. I remember Ethan Chow trying to hate on my tool jammers, and then I made him eastwards because they were so broken. It also was insane into Gudra because I could jammer my Yveltal. Sorry, I'm just gushing about my broken Lugia list from last year.
Wait. What? Why did Jammer help Lugia? Choice belt, right?
Right. Yeah, it turned off Choice Belt of the Mirror. It turned off Big Parasol. It turned off Choice Belt on Snorlaxes. It turned off air balloons. It just turned off so many things. But anyways, we're talking about a totally irrelevant
That's
thing.
so sick. Stoutland Jammer in the Lost Box?
Shout out to my top 16 San Diego list from last year being absolutely cracked.
That's wicked.
Next slide.
Okay. Do you have any final things to say about Lost Box? I think Lost Box is kind of sick.
No, Iron Bundle seems like a staple.
Yeah,
That's
a
what
lot
I
of
have
lists
to
are going to
say.
be playing Flutter Main. Hoopa's cool. Test it. Cool. Chedpow, 7 dubs.
Text.
Let's go. Yes,
Chen the next most popular.
C-Pow's kind of sick. I like its ability to just on the second turn of the game go like Prime Catcher, canceling Clone Gren. It just goes so hard.
Yeah, so much easier than Cross Switcher ever was. It's just one card, obviously. But yeah, it's been consistently performing. Chen Pao is still not the most consistent. Also, shout out to 0 of the Chen Pao lists on City Leagues playing for a copy of Pokestop. I could not find a single one last week. In this whole last week, playing for Pokestop. So shout out to Japanese players breaking even more with Chen Pao.
Sorry.
Next slide.
4 Pokestop goes hard. Play 4. Okay. So,
yeah.
This is kind of just a cut and dry regular C-Pal list. Only thing I see is there is not 4 Pokestop and there is not 3 Bidoof. So I actually,
They're playing one more Water Energy.
They're playing one more Water Energy. So I mean, I guess Gren is slightly more consistent now. That is an insane amount of ball cards, by the way. 4 Nest, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Buddy Pop, and 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball is actually wicked.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is like pretty cookie cutter list. The only like big things we're seeing from the new set is Crypto or whatever it is, Cypher Maniac, I guess what it's actually called.
Cypher Maniac's deciphering.
How did that become the name? That's like the worst possible outcome for that. Cryptomaniac was better.
Cryptomaniac's discovery went so hard.
Yeah, Cyphermaniac. I'm just gonna say Cryptomaniac, but eventually I won't because I just read the card enough times. But Pokemon playing Zero, I don't know, is whack.
Pokemon just should have hated on the Crypto Bros, bro. That would have been so funny. Nah, Zero Iono's kind of whack sometimes, but like.
I saw a list that played one Cypher Maniac, one Iono, and that is so much nicer.
That goes so hard. Oh my god.
Whenever I've played a deck that plays actual Zero Hand Disruption, it just feels so bad. Just knowing even just like having the possibility in your brain of being like, their 15 card hand could have gotten Iono'd is so much better than being like, wow, I cannot touch their 15 card hand.
True.
Regardless of the deck.
I like
having Zero Hand Disruption is such an L.
And this list is going to be able to find the one Iono because you have like Concealed, you have Superior, dump all the energies, draw like 4 off the barrel, draw another 4 off the barrel. Like you're finding Iono in a lot of situations.
Yeah, plus like having a real supporter that isn't searching your deck for cards and putting them in your hand or top of your deck is nice sometimes.
True.
That's my biggest Chen Pao contribution is I would like to see an Iono in Chen Pao list still. Even if it's just one little copy. I would like to see that.
Yeah. I feel like this list just has so much potential to just win on the second turn of the game because Prime Catcher Cologne literally wins in so many matchups. Pretty wicked. Just
annihilate their board.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chen Pao, this is like 2 cards off of our channel list, so.
C-Pow. Block Lax. 7 dubs.
Tied with Chen Pao. I put it lower because Block Lax cringe. Just kidding. It's a valid win condition.
Sure.
People that complain about Block Lax are lame and shouldn't play Pokemon.
Whoa, that's too far, man. I think...
Not at all. If you disagree with a valid win condition being a valid win condition, you should find a new game. That is my official take.
Low-key, that's
fair. And I don't feel sorry for you.
Low-key, that's fair. Block Lax. 7 dubs. Shout out to this pic of it literally blocking the way. I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, bro. Literally can't get up and down the stairs in your single family residence.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. I think block lax is like kind of underrated going into post row. There's a lot of stuff that it gains because it doesn't lose
totally. I throw the list up because that's gonna give you the most talking points.
Thank God. I was low key forgetting what lists were looking like for some reason, even though I literally played the list a couple days ago.
Huge nerf, I think, is losing prize card manipulation.
Oh yeah.
Huge buff is Thoughtseize in Pokemon.
True.
Your hand is never safe. Switch cards, that was the most broken part about playing against control pre-rotation, is you're just like, okay, I drew my switches. I'm just never going to play a draw supporter because I just want these switch cards to stay in my hand. That's what I did, at least.
Every Fortune Sisters?
Yeah, your switch cards aren't safe. You draw them, they're gone. They're in your deck, they're gone. You prize them, they're still gone. You play them, they're gone. They're nowhere. They're always in the discard pile. And then they just keep casting your stuff, and they keep blocking in the active. Hopefully they prize triple Airy because they can't play Peony anymore, and you win. That's your out.
Yeah, I was playing this deck and realized, I was like, man, Gladion would be so sick here. But then Landon pointed me out, and I was like, bro, Peonia literally lets you rearrange all 6 prize cards. We were so lucky to have Peonia.
It is crazy. Peonia is really good for control decks. Gladion is definitely a stronger one-time effect. Anyone that doesn't know what Gladion does, it's heavy ball as a supporter for any card. But Gladion's a one-time effect.
Bro, what? That was so. I can already tell the people listening in the car that haven't played. Gladion is, you look at your prize cards, pick a card, put it into your hand, and then replace it with Gladion.
Sorry, my description was spot on, but I don't know how you could misconstrue that at all. Hisuian heavy ball for any card as a supporter.
Actually, yeah. I don't know. I was just scared that someone was gonna be like, bro, what just happened?
No, I was spot on.
Yeah. Okay. My bad. My B. I'll back off.
If you look at this list, it looks pretty close to identical to pre-rotation if you squint hard enough. You add an A-Spec and you lose Peonia, you add Airy. You're 5 cards different, but the list feels totally different because you're just the way you have to play against block lax is just you have to be so much more careful with your stuff. You have to be proactively playing your switches when you draw them and taking the prize cards. You can't play that long game as much anymore because they just discard them from your hand.
Yeah,
and they discard your super rod.
Airy is so broken. Oh my god.
It's really good, dude. It's really good.
Shout out.
You're gonna get clapped.
We should have mentioned this. Airy's also sick in Arc decks. For a lot of other stuff.
Arctina was playing Airy. It's also good in just into Lax. I remember I was playing against you in the Snorlax matchup, and I discarded a couple counter catchers or a counter catcher and a switch card.
And a switch card, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be good in those matchups too.
It's good into Lost Box to just dump rods.
Makes me want to consider playing Spiritomb again in Arceus decks because Spiritomb does have quite a bit of upside. It turns off Rotom V still. It turns off Lumineon into Lugia and Charizard, so it's relevant into 3 matchups. And Spiritomb basically autos you the control matchup for Arceus because it draws you cards and you just hand disrupt them.
Also, I feel like this list is totally I could even see just being a total annoying person and just letting them Rotom the entire game, and then just going Spiritomb. And then this list plays 1 Silene, 1 Yelchir. How?
That's normal.
I mean, so you go Silene.
That's the issue I see with Control, is you can prize your infinite deck, which is horrible, and you have nothing you can do about it other than attacking with Flame Surge on Chi EX. Also, notably, every list is playing Chi U right now.
So
every single in most decks.
I mean, you kind of do have infinite deck because a lot of 60s are not playing Tomb, so you have
infinite deck, but not infinite resource.
True, infinite resource goes so hard. Oh my god! Now that you play Pidgeot, I'm just imagining the first person to think of playing Yelchir infinite deck with Pidgeot infinite deck, and their brain just must have exploded. Because, like, it's so broken. Because you get to Vanishing, and then you get to infinitely loop, like, Aries and Mistforce and Pennies. Like, you don't even have to worry about Silening for Palpad for Yelcher or Silene, like you used to have to with, like, the Mewtwo V Union lock. Being able to infinitely loop, like, your power cards while always having an infinite deck is so incredibly broken. Have we ever had that in Control? Um,
I don't know. Glutamine
well, yeah. Oh, Lucamine was
exists.
broken. Lucamine is
Yeah,
broken. Wait,
I
what was
think.
that loop again? You would Lucamine for support or Lucamine? Would you just mill them out,
Yeah,
or would you have like a Pidgeot kind of thing?
I don't know. There was like Tortuga and Zoroark. There's been lots of ways to infinite deck. There's been like Suicune GX. Pidgeot is not like a unique effect. We've seen Pidgeot V's ability many times.
No, yeah.
I think
Tortuga.
Pidgeot is just like a perfect like for Sealstone target, and in this format, it just like has been better because Pidgeot V's ability has been in format before and like not been very good. But I think that control decks like this standard or just the time legal, this Pidgeot has been legal, have just been like stronger and more suited to playing this kind of card.
Yeah.
But I think in
I like.
summary of Snorlax, you gain Hero's Cape, which is a big buff, and you lose Peonia and you gain Broken Airy.
True, Aries so good. Nah, I like that control decks. I like control right now. Like, there's a bunch of creativity you can have now with the Airy Misfortune Sisters. I'm sure Sander will cook some broken thing in the UIC. I'm really excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really like how there's infinite resources along with infinite deck. I just find that cool. But you want to move on?
Yeah, I have one more thought. The only adjustment we've seen for losing Peonia is double heavy ball, which is nowhere near enough
Yeah.
compared to Peonia.
I know there
But we
was
can.
some 60s that were playing like Daisy Arc Phone.
That's so mid, bro.
Yeah, true. Shout out to the Luminous in this list to Ghost Eye with Mimikyu.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tina. I've been seeing that Tina's getting an uptick.
Yeah.
I've been seeing that Tina's been getting an uptick in play recently.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it has. 6 Ws compared to the one top 16 showing in Fukuoka is quite the difference. And I'm curious because I don't really see why Tina is seeing the upswitch.
I mean, I think it's just because your Zard matchup is kind of good. Like, you have the Iron Leaves, Super Odd Iron Leaves, Star Requiem. If you really want to beat Zard, you could just play Maximum Belt in the 60. I don't know. Like, Gate decks just kind of go hard. Moonlight Shuriken and Leaves in the same deck go super hard. Tina's just such a strong deck. Like, your matchup into Zard is so good. You're just going to counter catch your Pidgeot, kill it, Roxanne, Iron Leaves, and then your turn. You know, like, you're forcing him to do so much.
I guess I could see it. Like, I remember when we were playing Tina Cross Switcher with, like, 2 paths, and you only really pathed to Roxanne once. You weren't, like, spamming it like you used to. I feel like with... Maybe, I guess the Pidgeot is probably fine, because I'm just thinking with the uptick in Pidgeot, you're going to feel the no path a lot more as opposed to when it's Bibarel. But I guess Prime Catcher plus 280 on Pidgeot is going to be a pretty strong combo. You also think about, like, how broken we thought Cross Switcher was in Tina. Now it's just Prime Catcher, so that's cool.
Yeah, Cross Switcher Tina, one of the best decks I've ever played in my life. I loved that deck so much. Oh,
it's very good. Maybe I should put my hands on Tina more. Tina be looking nice and fine. So
shout out to this list playing
with the deck a little more often.
Shout out to this list playing 3 Jet Energy. It makes me very sad.
No shout outs. That's an L. I do kind of get it though with the emergency board. Jet is going to get a little teensy bit less value, but you just jet your Tina into the active at the end of your turn when you want to attack. So Jet will always have good value.
Low key, hot take, I would rather play 4 Jet Energy than emergency board.
Yeah, I would cut the board for 4th Jet for sure. I agree with that.
Like, Jet is such a good card, man.
Playing Hisuian is a little interesting in Tina. Manaphy maybe isn't needed. Maybe it is for Chen Pao, though.
Yeah, C-Power kind of could cook you. Manaphy, I know that there was...
Sealstone here.
I wonder if there is any logic to the reasoning that we had where we would just not play Manaphy because it just accelerated you to Roxanne quicker.
I still don't like Manaphy and Tina, even in the current format. I'd rather play Spiritomb every day than Manaphy.
Yeah.
But I think I've seen this consistently in Tina lists that they're playing Vacuum plus Sealstone.
Yeah.
I think that is like a perfect way to kind of mitigate the downside of not having the disruption of Path of the Peak anymore, just having that slight bit more aggression, especially in the matchups like Chien-Pao or just like other basic EX decks. You're never really needing to use or Star Requiem, so you can just have the option of drawing Sealstone, a Sealstone for Vacuum, attack a turn sooner with Giratina,
And that's
which
so huge in the
is pretty
CPAL.
big. Yeah, and like I guess you could technically get turn one Shuriken going second if you really got that broken of a hand.
Course, Comfey, Vacuum, Sealstone.
Yeah.
Surely, right? Surely we'll hit that every time when we play 2 Buddy Puffin.
It'll happen once or twice in your 15-round tournament, that's for sure.
True. 15-round tournament times 2, so 30 rounds plus like 30 games plus a couple game 3, so we could probably say like 36, 37. Or even close to 40.
Yeah, I could see it happening even 3 times maybe.
Dang. 1 in 10.
But yeah, I like this slight tinge more of aggression in these lists. I think that's probably what Tina needs to kind of keep up without the path. And then, yeah, obviously, like you're saying, with the Iron Leaves, we are seeing like basically 0 Lost City in Zard. So it is entirely possible that you can just go Leaves, Rod, Leaves, and then that's just the move into Zard. You go Leaves, Rod, Leaves, Prime Catcher, 280, Pidgeot, and or against Bibarel, go like Cram turn 1 into... Dang, Bros formatting mid-episode.
My bad, bro. Yeah, like, without Lost City, Iron Leaf spam is actually a thing. Like, you can go Leaves, Requiem. Kind of easily.
Yeah, I mean, this would probably be, like, a later development in the format as opposed to, like, UIC, but I could easily see, like, this kind of style of Tina list going crazy, and then Zard starts playing a one of Lost City. And even, like, other decks are going to play Leaves. Like, you might have to play the one of Lost City, like, kind of like how Mew always played a Lost City for Drapion. You just got rid of the Drapion, didn't have to worry about it anymore. This could be the same situation for Zard, getting rid of Leaves and other decks.
Yeah. Low-key, Lost City kind of seems like it's worth if there's an uptick in Tina for Zard. Like, you can meta call probably play Lost City in your 60s.
Yeah, plus like Lost City is gonna Lost Zone like one of like just random one of Pokemon or like help into decks that are trying to recycle things. Like Lost Zoning like in this list, Lost Zoning a Sableye or like your Cram or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, like Lost City would be really good
places
into the
sometimes.
Yeah, like into with Zard, you could actually just go like Counter Catcher Gren, Lost City, Iono.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely loses like some value because it's not just a path bump, which is what stadiums were pre-rotation. Like you could just play like a blank stadium and it would still be kind of good enough. Which a lot of the time was Lost City was into some decks, but
this card is a stadium card.
Yeah, you're playing it for the text more than you did before. So,
and I like that. Honestly, I like stadiums only being there. I like stadiums being there really only for their actual effect instead of being a path bump.
Yeah, I mean, I like to see ability lock. I think that this format is going to be a little unhinged without ability lock. But
yeah, ability lock's good. Ability lock's healthy.
Very strong balancing factor to these really sick abilities we're seeing. But I think we could probably do. That's good. We were moving on anyways.
Turbo Hands, 4 dubs. So since Fukuoka, we've seen an uptick in Turbo Hands. Turbo Hands is something that me and Lane have been thinking about quite a bit because it's just like turn 1 aggression with the Miraidon or even with the double generator like sack play. And your map and decks are really, really simple. Like you're just gonna go Miraidon, it dies, hands, or Counter Catcher Hands, Counter Catcher Hands, Counter Catcher Hands, because you're always gonna be behind because they're always return knocking out your Iron Hands. So yeah. It's something that we've been thinking of. Like, your prize map is super simple in the decks. You're just going to go 2 prize, 2 prize, 2 prize, or 1 prize, 3 prize, 2 prize. And, yeah.
Yeah. It's very strong. It's very consistent. It's very fast. But if we go to the next slide, I would like to share with all of you
Iron Boulder!
Iron Boulder EX. Card we kind of poo-pooed on. Still don't think it's the bestest thing. But it is a very good counter to Arceus and other Iron Hands EX because it very cleanly one-shots both of those things for 2 energy. in combination with your crowns. For people that don't know what it does 2 energy, 1 fighting, 1 colorless, 60 damage, and your opponent's active takes 80 damage if it hits this Pokemon. And the second attack has no text because you play 1 fighting energy. I don't even know what it does.
It's like probably 2 fighting, 1 colorless, 200, and then either discard energies or can attack next turn.
Wow.
Probably.
So original.
That's my guess.
It also notably has 240 hit points, which can be really annoying for things like Arceus. They can't kill you with a DTE'd Arceus with a maximum belt.
It's tankier than hands!
It is quite tanky. 240 is a very noticeable difference from 230. Mostly just for the Zard / Arceus with DTE and maximum belt member. That is a pretty big number to be dodging. Notably, playing 0 gift energy in this list.
Kind of whack.
Which feels kind of whack. I mean, maybe it's fine. Also playing an Iron Bundle and a Mew EX.
Mew EX could be your gift energy sometimes.
Yeah, like you're only drawing up to 3 though. It's a big difference. Also, 1 less room, 1 less spot for like Iron Crowns for damage, but not every matchup are you needing the max damage from Crowns. You're never attacking with genome hacking really though. I mean, actually, I shouldn't say that. You could baton to the Mew.
True.
And then bundle. I'm not really sure what the bundle's for. Maybe it's just kind of like decent gust.
I think it's probably the same logic as Chen Power. If you're not KOing the active, you're KOing everything on the bench.
Not everything though. Like they could just push a big HP thing and then you can't touch it.
I don't know. Also, 2 counter catcher seems kind of whack.
Yeah, 2 counter catcher is interesting. We're seeing prime catcher though. I think most of the lists I've seen, including ours, are not playing Reboot Pod, and they have chosen prime catcher. Which is.
Yo.
What?
My power bank turned off. I will go. I will turn on the light.
It's fine.
Keep talking about hands.
No, you're fine. Okay, never mind.
What do you mean? I'm literally turning on the light.
Okay. Anyways, prime catcher is like seems to be the preferred ace spec. Also playing Lost Vacuum here, which seems like it's probably there to like get rid of like Bravery Charms, Heroes Capes, that kind of stuff. Like HP buffs can be really detrimental to hands. It's gonna push you out of 1-shot range. Yeah. That's.
I don't know. It's kind of sick.
Some adaptations for sure.
Iron Boulder is super sick in the mirror. Like Iron Boulder is so sick in the mirror, dude. Is it also? I don't know how much.
What?
It's 3.
No, it's 3 retreat. And we're seeing an energy search here, so you can Arven for the fighting energy, basically. And Hisuian Heavy Ball, so you can get the Heavy Ball out. It's kind of the same logic as like playing the 1 lightning, 1 hands in Chenpao with the Hisuian Heavy Ball. Like you only ever get punished if you prize exactly the basic energy.
That makes a lot of sense. It just turns your 1 fighting energy. It takes 2 slots to be 6 slots in this deck, because 6 fits.
Yeah, because Arven finds it.
Arven and energy search and fighting energy is equivalent to just 6 fighting energies, because there's 6 ways to find your 1 fighting energy. So that's really sick.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Super easy to find because of the Techno Radar. Also, Techno Radar does find Iron Bundle, so that's nice.
Sure, Techno Radar is kind of just Gust now, which is kind of sick.
Yeah. I think that the Iron Boulder isn't like a guaranteed thing to see, but it has been pretty common in lists because there has been a lot of Arceus and quite a bit of this deck going around, and the Boulder is very good in both of those. So
true. Iron Boulder is love. Iron Boulder is life. Do you want to move on?
I would love to.
Deck is sick. Ancient deck.
Still have no hecking idea why people playing Koraidon on this list. We can just go straight to the deck list because Koraidon's horrible. Shout out to the 2 people playing no Koraidon and no fighting energy in their moon lists.
Thank God.
You guys are the ghosts. Fighting energy is absolutely terrible in this deck. You're punting if you're playing fighting energy in every way possible.
Yeah.
This list is kind of whack though. Pokestop is broken in this deck. You should be playing 4 of it.
Drum of Awakening is
seems like too many. Oh yeah, no drum?
Yeah. Drum is like...
This list is crazy.
I was literally talking with Landen. I think Drum of Awakening might be up there as one of the best singular cards to ever be in a deck. Like, in a specific deck.
It's really good in this deck. It's like, draw 3 or 4, plus 10 damage, and you can hit a Pokestop.
It's
pretty
so
good.
broken. Like, I actually don't know how any other card in any other deck that is a one of is ever been better than Drum of Awakening. It's draw
Yeah,
3 on an item. That pluses your damage. It's
it's
insane.
pretty good. It's pretty good.
It also makes
This
it
list
so.
is interesting though.
Yeah,
Playing a very minimal amount of ancient cards for a deck that's built around attacking with ancient things. What's this playing?
4, 8,
8, 12,
11, 15,
16.
19.
Okay, never mind.
8, 11, 15, 19, 23, 27.
I guess it's not that low. Uh, but I like to see 30. I think our list is playing 30 because then you're like pretty realistically by turn 3 and 4, like one-shotting arcs and then able to one-shot Zard's later game.
Yeah.
Um, but like people are for some reason still playing Fighting Energy and are so flabbergasted when you hit them with the Frenzied Gouging on turn 2.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't
Seeing
know.
4 Dark Patch here is cracked. Like uh, it's pretty. We've put a list out on our channel that plays 4 Dark Patch and no Fighting Energy because it is just better
I'm
than
gonna
Fighting
say
Energy.
this. Explorer's Guidance is so good. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
this deck hits bottom of deck by like turn 4 pretty much. I shouldn't say every game, but most games I am like comfortably able to draw my whole deck. Like I don't do it because you deck out, but I have the ability to have 0 cards in my deck by like turn 4 or 5. 5 is like the latest usually, because every turn you're going concealed Pokestop supporter in an ideal world, which is like -10 plus from deck. Plus you're thinning with ball cards. Earthen Vessel thins too. You're thinning cards from hand, so if you get Ionoed, you're not like contributing a bunch of cards to deck. This list is playing 4 Pokegear, which is kind of sick. That's
True.
kind of one thing I've noticed in the lists we've been playing is like if you're able to get the chain started and you're able to go like supporter, it usually finds you your next one. But finding the first supporter can be kind of
Can
tough
be, yeah,
sometimes.
because all you really have is Concealed and Drum of Awakening. But
And the Pokestop does kind of get you towards it because it thins the deck of like other cards. Like once you play like an Earthen Vessel and an S Ball or two, you're like -3 to 5 cards in deck that aren't supporter, and then you're like concealing into those cards, and like you don't need a supporter like turn 1 usually,
yep.
because you can kind of take like the first turn off. So, like I haven't really felt like there's been really any consistency issues with the list we've been playing, but I do like the idea of Pokegear if you can somehow find 4 slots in your list.
Or like even 2 is nice. It's like the same logic as Lost Box, where it's kind of like an additional supporter.
Yeah, and especially if you're playing like the 4 Pokestop deck, like finding the item off of it is pretty cool. Oh, this list isn't playing any boss. That's
Yeah,
kind
I
of
was
where they're
about to
getting
say that.
space
I
from
was literally
us.
about to say that. It plays a counter catcher
Yeah.
though, so it's literally one card different. I would cut
Yeah,
counter catcher for boss.
I've been really enjoying like the boss pal pad and the list we've been testing because you basically get a guaranteed gust every game, which is all I've ever really felt this deck needed is like that one gust for like the last 2 prizer or something.
Yeah.
Because usually you're just clearing. You're usually just like if they put a 1 prizer on you, you're clearing active, um, or you're two-shotting the 2 prizer they present to you, and then like usually they're gonna try and like push a 1 prizer on you as your last. But then your deck is so thin that you just like can palpad the boss back in, and then they Iono you into the boss. That's like one of the 2 or 3 cards in your deck,
Yeah, like
and
you can
then
play
you
into
just
checkmate.
this deck checkmates so frequently. Sorry, we're just gushing about this deck because this is by far like my favorite deck right now. But I frequently am just like, okay, I've set up checkmate on turn 4 or 5 with this deck,
Scoop,
and it's
please.
sick. Because you literally with the dark patches, you just guarantee your next moon every time because you like have one in the active, you dark patch to the bench, you promote, you attach, you attack, and then like your board state can literally be like triple moon with 2 energies on it, and that's checkmate into like a lot of things.
Also,
Um,
Sada is literally like all of your roaring moons for the rest of the game, pretty much. So
yeah, once you
broken.
saw it once for the full effect to do different moons, then you're like, yeah, you're pretty much rocking and rolling. Plus, the Moon EX is so sick here because it makes sense that the thing that does infinite damage early complements the thing that does infinite damage late. So
Yeah, I also
yeah,
really like that
I think that summarizes.
this deck is like the only deck that actually can beat Lost Box with only Fluttermane.
Yeah, because you just sawed it to it, attack turn 2 with the Flutter Mane, and then they lose because they can't draw literally any cards ever. And the Iron Bundle does nothing because now that we know people play Iron Bundle, we just put 2 Flutter Mane down.
And they are like, damn it, dude, my tech doesn't work.
Wait. The surprise Pikachu face makes another appearance in the podcast.
No!
But I don't know. I think I said everything I want to say about this.
I'm also becoming emo because Landon went emo in our deck profile thing.
I did. Yo, it's Mr. Beast. What the heck?
No way. So
Lugia has been underperforming for the big win it had, I think. Which
yeah.
I'm not that surprised by.
I don't know. I think Lugia V-Star was like, it's a fine deck, but it's just...
This list is atrocious, by the way.
Damn.
The reason I picked this is it has 4 Minccino, which I think is optimal. 4 Minccino sick because starting it... Plus, 4 Lugia V, 4 Minccino is like 8 really good starters going second. Because Call for Family's broken, Read the Wind is broken. But how the hell are you playing 3 Serena in 2024?
3 Serena, 3 bosses orders is so funny.
You're kidding. I'm beating my head against a wall with these Lugia players, man. Serena
bro.
is a god-awful card. This card is not playable anymore.
Bro.
Don't play Serena. I'm molding. I'm raging.
Go touch your face onto a wall right now. Let's go. Confirm.
Bro, that's how I feel.
Wall. Also, you definitely selfie-timed.
Serena.
You definitely selfie-timed.
My butt crack is canon. My butt crack is canon. Professor's Research is just a better card. If you're choosing to play 17 energies, oh well, you're going to research some energies sometimes. But
that's
you can't
fine.
play Serena in your deck. You can't play Serena. You cannot. It's bad. Sorry, rant over, I guess, but it just flabbergasts. I'm just like dumbfounded that people are playing this many copies of Serena in a format with like 2 playable Vs.
One Serena is fine. There's Lugia, there's Rotom, there's Luminion, there's Arceus, there's Giratina.
Sorry. What I'm saying is like good targets. Like you're going to hit Luminion, you're going to hit Rotom. Like the difference between Serena and Boss's Orders is like the difference between this and a water bottle. It's not even close. Serena is an awful gust effect and an awful draw supporter stapled to one awful card. I don't know. Maybe, rant over. That's how strongly I feel about these god-awful Lugia lists playing Serena.
I think 1 Serena could be justifiable, but you should be playing like 4 Research in my opinion.
I kind of see the logic, like, oh, I'm playing 17 energies. I'm going to discard them off Research. Got to play this bad draw supporter that lets me discard the only Archeops that I have in my hand because I drew 0 cards this game because I'm playing Serenas. How are you getting turn 2 double Archeops in play with a discard 3 draw up to 5?
Great ball for Luminion for Shock, double Ultra Ball, double Archeops.
It's unreal, man. I don't know. I just don't get it. You're drawing, like, over the course of a game, you play 3 Serenas, you're drawing, like, an average of 9 cards. That's 21 cards off Research. I don't get it. That's all I have to say to Lugia.
This is so funny. You've been ranting for like 2 minutes or 3 minutes. You touched your face against the wall.
And I showed my butt crack for the bit.
Let's go! Okay.
So,
1 Snorlax is also kind of mid. Play 2. Goldango!
I also hate this deck, but I don't have as strong a feeling as I do about Serena.
Cheese-string. Why is there Cynthia's Ambition?
Piggybacks off. I don't know. This list is kind of whack. I know this deck is kind of whack, so I didn't really think that hard about picking the best list. This deck is just totally piggybacking off the power of Cologne, Prime Catcher, Greninja. That's the only reason Goldango's been playable, like, at all since its release, is Greninja.
Make It Rain's also, like, one-shotting things is pretty good. But I would personally like to see a slightly different supporter line here. I think you could probably, like... I think Cynthia's Ambition is the kind of card that actually could be kind of broken because you're going down to a low hand size. So I kind of like it in this deck. But I feel like we should definitely be playing, like, 1 less Roxanne for, like, third Irida, and then something else for fourth Irida, or something else for another supporter. I don't know. 2-2-2-2 is just making me feel weird.
Pokestop deck as well. Yeah, I know. Like this deck's like Pokestop ratio is definitely off. Like you should be like optimizing, probably playing 4 Poffin, because the whole point of this deck is to put a bunch of gimme goals in play and draw a whole bunch of cards with Make It Rain or whatever it is, coin bonus. And like you're trying to hit turn 2 combos of like Palkia, Prime Catcher, Cologne, all this random stuff.
Low-key, I kind of want to play the
Pokestop for.
I want to play Goldango to the cup just to get Landon angry.
Bro's throwing away a free win.
Damn, it's not a free win.
I don't know. Pretty close.
Not really.
For you, I think I don't mean to trash talk, but like the difference between you and most of the other seniors in our area is pretty noticeable.
I don't know, bro.
Mostly just because you play like multiple. There's lots of good players in our area, but we go to way more events, and you go to way more events than like any of the seniors do, and practice way more than any of the seniors do. So it just makes sense that.
But low key, it's kind of I don't know. Like I enjoy Pokemon as a competitive thing, and I've never. But like low key, the people who can just play for fun are goated. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like the people that actually just don't care are so goated.
I'm getting pretty close. Personally, in the terms of, I like the competitive aspect too, but I'm starting to have fun when I'm losing. Wild.
Nah.
Which is cool.
I think you're literally like, I think that's sick. Like, you're just enjoying tournaments, which is so goated.
I think the funniest part of the vlog that we made for Knoxville was me just laughing at my opponents destroying me and, like, watching them be so surprised that I was, like, literally laughing at them beating me so terribly. It was great. That was a top-tier Pokemon memory for me.
Yeah.
Was people being surprised that I wasn't salty that they clapped me?
I will say I am a victim. I don't get salty. I get salty in my mind, in my brain. I try my best to not let it show, and then whatever it takes, I will just, like, suck it up and act not like a total douche. But I will say, I do get kind of upset sometimes with the whole thing, because I'm so competitive. Oh my god. But I need to get better at it. Like, I need to get better at, like, I need to get better at just talking during games, because why not? You know, just enjoy it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think one of the biggest evolutions for me as a Pokemon player is, like, once I won a regional, I didn't feel like I needed to prove myself to anyone anymore. And now I can just play, and I know I'm a good player. I'll do well when I do well. I do bad when I do bad. There's not like a...
that's one of the things I respect Pokeduels for so much. Like, he just goes to events to...
Yeah, shut up, Pokeduels.
What?
Shut up, Pokeduels. I think it's so funny. Like, he is a way better player than he either gives himself credit for, or he just loses too many games from conceding after 3 mulligans. But yeah, Pokeduels is cool.
Nah, yeah, that's so sick.
That's not even a joke. He actually concedes if he mulligans 3 times. It's not a joke.
Like,
it's really not.
He literally has lost games at regionals because he was scooped because he mulliganed 3 times.
Absolute mad lad. Imagine paying thousands of dollars to travel to Australia and then actually conceding in a best of 3.
I respect that so heavily because you're just
that is a real occurrence.
You're there to have fun. Like, that's so sick. You know, you're there for more than just competitiveness.
If I remember correctly, he was playing. I'm just remembering Pokeduel's Twitter. Game 2, he's playing against Guardy. He literally concedes after 3 mulligans and then just wins game 3 anyways. Such a Chad.
That's so sick. I'm waiting for the first set where he goes mulligan 3 times, mulligan 3 times, and then concedes both times because he doesn't care.
True.
By the way, I've heard he's retired at 26, bro. Like, oh my god. I saw that on a random, like, one of his under Twitter posts things. Like, bro is literally, like, running. I don't know, bro. It's crazy. Respect to him. Goldango.
Yeah. Next deck. I don't want to talk about Goldango anymore.
Right on.
One more deck. Oh, 2 more decks. Sorry. Maraudon is not good post rotation, but this list is whack. It plays more energies than a theme deck. 22 energy. This is the most energy I've ever seen in a deck list, and I guarantee this guy still lift generators.
True, bro. Bro, generator for 0 energy was like, bro, I hate this game. This game sucks.
Yeah, I bet you. I mean, he won the tournament he entered, but like, bro, registered this list, whiffed his first generator, and then regretted all his life choices.
True.
Until he won that game, but
I could see this low-key being
cool, I guess.
I think Miraidon could be sick, but there's just so much.
No, you don't really have a Charizard matchup without Path. Yeah, Charizard went up, and you don't have Path Cheese anymore, which was like your main strategy into them. But I do kind of like the 22 energy plus Radiant Greninja.
True.
Concealed cards that return is cool.
Radiant Greninja's sick.
But yeah, I just wanted to put 22 energy list on screen.
True.
Next and final deck.
Is there really anything to say? Like, this is just kind of, it takes a bunch of, like, the only matchups it's gained. You definitely lose to Ancient Box. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Miraidon's very good. But
I see zero reason to play Miraidon over Turbo Hands at all. I don't really get, like, literally, Iron Hands does as much damage as Miraidon EX does now because of Iron Crowns. The only thing I could see is like Raichu V, but even then, you could just play one of Raichu V in Turbo Hands for like your last blow up option if you wanted.
Sure, that's looking kind of sick. You play Raichu V and then you go like generator, heavy baton or something. That's kind of sick.
Even then, like you're gonna accumulate damage. Especially, I would definitely probably want to play Reboot Pod if you're playing Raichu V, because actually that could be pretty 6 energy. Maybe that's worth playing because you could go like Reboot Pod, like literally 6 energy into play, and then just play a generator attached.
Wait. Yo, low key, is this our Zard matchup? What if we just went like turn 1 attack? Because they're gonna go second, and then you're gonna get the first attack. If they go second, you're still gonna get the first attack on like a 1 prizer with a baby Miraidon. And then you're gonna blow something up for 3 prizes, or like even you're gonna blow like a Pidgeot up for 3 prizes, and then you're gonna go Reboot Pod, Generator, Raichu.
Yeah.
That's kind of sick.
Could be these.
We should test.
Could be these.
We should test this. Okay, Espatra.
Last deck, least effort, Sparta, energies, attacks.
Let's go. 3 TMs. 3 TMs. 3 TMs. 3 TMs. This is so funny to me.
Yeah. We're playing 1 TM Evo, 1 TM Devo, 1 TM Crisis Punch, double Fluttermane, so you have a Lost Moon matchup. And then you're just playing a Spathra Xatu. Definitely not a powerful enough strategy, but this dude was probably having a blast in the tournament he won.
Yeah, he won the tournament, so he beat a lot of Zards. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, you're probably going to beat like most Zards you play against. Maybe not even because you're playing a Spathra. But
no, I think that works.
Theory, you should.
Because you go one shot, they can't one shot you back unless they're playing Max Belt. If they're playing Max Belt, you hit them with the Hero's Cape, and if they hit him with the Vacuum, you actually just swear at them.
True.
I think that's the plan. Yeah. Swear at them, leave.
Not the GOAT. Person that played this is the GOAT.
Person that played this is the GOAT. Like, honestly, no, this is the last deck.
I know. Go next episode.
Oh, I respect this so much. Like, I actually respect it, because if he did think this was a good meta call, then, like, shout out to you. It was for that tournament you went to. You did well. But if you just went there to have fun and you won, dude, like, I respect that so much. Like, I need to start... No, I don't really need to. I enjoy playing Pokemon competitively.
I add this. One thing I miss about being an unemployed child is being able to go to League every week and play whatever deck I wanted and still do okay with it because I didn't have to care because I went to League all the time and it was a very low opportunity cost to play a pet deck. But now that I go to League like once a month, if that, I feel like I probably have to play better decks because I only really go to challenges and or cups when they're convenient for me. But
you went to the Zephyr. You went to the Zephyr tournament.
Yeah, but that was like for fun. Wait, we can't leak that because then people will think that that deck isn't even a standard deck.
That deck is a standard deck. What do you mean?
I don't know. I just think it's hilarious that I posted that tweet without any context. And people thought
that was a standard deck?
People thought I went 301 with Zekrom Reshiram because it was one single present format.
If you listen to this on the podcast, do not tell anyone. Don't leak.
Yeah, no leaking that my tweet that was engagement farming was not actually a standard deck. James Sims in shambles right now.
I'm glad to say I did not tell anyone. I did not leak.
Thank gosh.
Thank gosh that we're playing the optimal little split.
True. 1 for retreat, 250 HP?
Nah, 250 HP with the psychic. This thing's 10 more energy attached on your.
Yeah, 30 HP is free retreat though.
True. Maybe, wait. Yo. We cooking. Let's play a spot for the UIC.
Well, Lucas, I would like to go to sleep now. How do we feel about concluding our lovely little episode of the Lost Mine Trading Card Game podcast?
I'm down. So this was a very sick pod. We kind of just talked about all sorts of random stuff, and then we also had a good message.
Yeah.
And we were talking about like actual good stuff. I feel like we were talking about like matchups and why decks are good, why decks are not good.
Yeah.
I
think that the Japanese meta is a pretty good predictor. It's not ever going to be like completely accurate, but this is like their evolving meta, and we're starting to see tech cards like Iron Boulder emerge, and we're starting to see like a lot more variation in ace specs, like we've seen in like the Turbo Hands, and like Charizard's drawing new ace specs, like even Hero's Cape.
Yeah.
The meta is just evolving, and it's kind of what we'll see after EIC.
Yeah,
but here
it's sick. So, if you had any thoughts about the podcast today, I would appreciate it if you let us know. If you like those random rants, if you like those random things, let us know.
Should we make a clip of me just absolutely shiting on Sarita for like 3 minutes?
Nah, low-key, we should post that to Lost My Twitter. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
See if
but
we
yeah,
get that clip out of there. That would be
if you enjoyed the episode, please like, comment, subscribe, blah, blah, blah.
Lucas will be uploading this one to Spotify.
I will be.
Thank you to that one
I
person in the
swear
comments
to God.
letting us know. So, if you are one of our few Spotify listeners, we do know not that many people listen on there, thanks to a lovely little thing called analytics. Please do leave us a 5-star review. You think would be the 7th person to do so. So
let's
go.
Maybe
it's the 10th. I think it's either 6 or 9 5-star reviews we have. It would be lovely to get some more of those because we are, let's be real, some 5-star podcasters. So
damn, that's a crazy take. That's a crazy take. That's
the confidence
crazy.
is unwavering in
that
this
is
man.
Insane confidence.
Yeah.
I am a 5-star podcaster. Currently squeezing a corgi. No. Wait, you should shoot the corgi. Can you like do the thing where you like sling it into your laptop?
I will not be damaging my expensive computer for a corgi slingshot.
Worth, for real.
Okay. Anyways, Lucas, if you have no further comments, I'm going to do our outro, and we are going to end the podcast.
I do not. Dispatcher's good. Definitely.
Okay.
Not fake.
You have been listening to the Lost Mine Pokemon Trading Card Game podcast. You will see us next week at Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will see you all next week. Thank you so much for listening /watching. Love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.